Welcome to the SafelyFiled webinar. This comprehensive webinar will discuss what SafelyFiled is and how you can use it for both personal and business use. This webinar has been pre-recorded, so you will not be able to ask any questions during it. If you do have questions, however, you can email us at info@safelyfiled.com and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have, or even to schedule a one-on-one webinar with you if desired. So with that, let's get started. We'll begin by explaining what SafelyFiled is. SafelyFiled is an online, super secure filing and organizational system for your digital files. We have bank-level security or better, which means everything that is stored within SafelyFiled is encrypted. Your login and password acts as a key that unencrypts your data when you log in and encrypts it back when you log out. Not only are your files encrypted as they are stored on SafelyFiled, but also they're encrypted during the transmission when you upload your documents directly from your computer or by using our smartphone apps. We also provide dual authentication, which means you can set up your account to require not only the correct login and password, but also an additional access code, which can be sent to the email or cell phone of your choice. SafelyFiled takes all the worry out of storing, finding, and sharing important life documents. Unlike your paper files that may be sitting at home in a filing cabinet or even in a box in the basement, your documents stored at SafelyFiled are safe from fire, flood, and other natural disasters. Another huge advantage is you can access these documents no matter where you are, and you can grant access to documents to other loved ones or professionals who might need to have access to those documents in the event something were to happen to you. Many people are under the false assumption that files sitting on your home computer are safer than sitting in a secure service such as SafelyFiled. But other than the obvious risk of a hard drive going bad or a device falling into the wrong hands, home computers are subject to viruses such as malware, spyware, and Trojan horses, which could compromise your personal information and you not even be aware until it's too late. So those risks are yet another reason why your files are safer with SafelyFiled. You can set up your digital filing system within SafelyFiled to replicate what you're currently doing at home with your paper filing system. And that way, if you have something that works for you already, you can do it within SafelyFiled as well. You can organize things in ways that makes the most sense to you. And you can easily add information and descriptions to any document that you upload. Finding documents within your SafelyFiled account is also easy. You can search for any document based on how you named it, a tag that you put on it, or even to whom that document refers. You can find information about where you stored the original hard copy of a document. There are some documents that we cannot destroy. Anything that requires the official seal, such as a marriage certificate, birth certificate, passport, and even wills. So within SafelyFiled, you can store a digital copy of those documents and also indicate where the original is kept. This would serve as a handy reminder to either yourself if you forget where you've stored it, or to loved ones or business professionals who may need to access those documents in the event something were to happen to you. Okay. Now that we know what SafelyFiled is, let's learn how to use it. Whenever you log into your SafelyFiled account, this is the page that you come to by default. And at first glance, it looks very basic and simple, and that's by design. We wanted to make sure that people could log in and get started without a large learning curve. But there are a lot of neat features embedded within, which we will cover in this webinar. We will start by discussing the layout of this main page. Notice at the top there are 4 icons. When you click the My Files icon, it will refresh this page, which may be necessary if you make a change to a file name or upload a folder or file, but you don't see the change right away. Clicking the My Files icon will refresh the page, which should show you your latest changes. It also will bring you back to this view of your folders and files no matter where you are within the system. And that will make more sense to you as you learn about the other pages and features of SafelyFiled. The Help icon takes you to our Help page, where you can access all of our training videos, our user manual, you can find out what version of SafelyFiled is currently running, you can access our checklist, and our frequently asked questions. The Contact Us icon is where you go to find out our telephone number, our physical mailing address, and our email address. You'll also find our live chat hours listed here, and you can leave us an email by filling out this information at the bottom. We currently provide live chat hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, but those hours will increase as demand increases. If the chat room icon reflects online, it means our member support specialists are available to chat in real time. By clicking the icon, you will enter a live chat room where you can enter your name and your question and talk directly to a member support specialist. If this icon reads offline, you can still click the icon and leave your name and contact information and question, and we can return your call or email as soon as we return. In the main section of this screen are three different parts. On the left-hand side are your folders and files in a list view, much the same way as you would view your folders and files in a file window on a Mac or PC in a list view today. In the center is where you can look at your folders and files in a small thumbnail view. And on the right-hand side is where you input specific information regarding a folder or file. When you log into SafelyFiled for the first time as a new member, you'll notice that there are some folders created for you by default over here in the file tree. But these folders are here just to get you thinking about the types of files that you might store within SafelyFiled. You'll also notice that those folders do not have the blue triangle to the left of them. That blue triangle indicates that there are either subfolders and or files underneath that particular folder. So as a new member, the only one that you will see a blue triangle next to is the To Be Filed folder, which is where we have a welcome letter for your review. That SafelyFiled letter gives you a little bit more information about your SafelyFiled membership. But all of the other folders are fully customizable, which means you can rename them, you can delete them, and you can add new ones. And you can add as many subfolders as you need, up to 5 sublevels. And that way you can mimic whatever file system you're currently using. The To Be Filed folder is the only folder that you cannot change. And we'll talk about that folder in more detail a little bit later in this webinar. So once you create your folders, the next step is to upload your files. There are currently 4 different ways to upload files into SafelyFiled. I will discuss 3 of them now and a 4th one a little bit later in the webinar. So the first step is to select what folder you want to upload a file into. In this case, I'm going to select the Personal Info folder. Notice there is no blue triangle to the left of it, which indicates this folder is currently empty. There are no subfolders underneath and no files. When I select the folder, it is highlighted here on the left, and you'll also notice that it's listed here in the center of the screen along with the full file path. One way you can get your files into the account is using the drag and drop method. In that method, you bring up your file window on your computer and select a file by clicking on it and dragging it over to the Upload File section of SafelyFiled. Notice the file is now being uploaded into your account. Also remember, these files go up encrypted, so there's no way they can be intercepted or looked at between your computer and your SafelyFiled account. You can drag and drop as many as 5 documents at the same time into any one folder. Now you'll notice that our file has been uploaded and is now under our Personal Info folder with a blue triangle because that folder is no longer empty. If you decide that you want a subfolder to move that into, you can right-click on the folder, select Create, type in the name of your new subfolder, and then drag and drop that file that you just uploaded into that new subfolder name. Now you'll notice that you have a subfolder listed here and that file is now in that subfolder. When you click on the file after you've uploaded it, you'll notice that there is a thumbnail sketch of it that shows up in the center of the screen. In this way, you can browse through a document to see what page you might want to look at to get more information. If your eyesight isn't quite so good, you can click on the document then, and it will make it full size so that you can look at the information without having to download the document again. Okay, the second method is to select the Upload button here. When you select the Upload button, it will bring up a browse window for you. So by selecting Browse, it will bring up your file folder on your computer, and then you can select a file up to 5 at a time to be uploaded into your account. and then select OK. Keep in mind that whatever folder you are currently under when you select either the upload button or doing the drag and drop, it will drop these files into that folder. If you make a mistake, it's no problem. It's real easy to then just drag and drop these files into its appropriate place. If you have a hard time hitting a target using the file tree here, you can also drag and drop to a file folder here in the center of the screen. That gives you a little bit bigger area to hit. One note about drag and drop technology. Currently, Internet Explorer version 9 and earlier does not allow for the drag and drop feature. So if you're using Internet Explorer and you select the drag and drop option here, you will by default receive this browse window. The third way to get files into your SafelyFiled account is via your smartphone. We have a smartphone app for the Android and the iPhone, and you can get to those apps by clicking on the links here. Once you've installed these apps on your smartphone, then you can take pictures of your documents and upload them directly into your SafelyFiled account. When they're transmitted from your phone into the account, they go up encrypted, so they go up very securely. As I demonstrated before, you can open and close your different folders by clicking on the little blue triangle or by double-clicking on the folder itself. This then will open it to show the subfolders and files underneath it. If you right-click on a folder, you will see a little drop-down menu that gives you the option to create a new folder under the current folder, to rename this current folder, to delete this folder, or to perform a search on documents under this folder. A note about delete. You can't delete a folder that has subfolders or files within it. You would first have to remove those folders and files by moving them into a new folder or by deleting them before you can delete the higher level folder. If you're not too sure about using the right mouse button option, you can also delete folders and files by selecting the folder or file that you want to delete, making sure you have the right one identified, and then selecting the delete button over here on the right hand side. You can also opt to download and print the document from this view. So we've pretty much covered all of the information on the left hand side of the screen on how to maneuver and work with folders and files. Now let's talk about the center of the screen. So here in the middle of the screen you see a small icon that represents folders and files. You can tell the difference between a folder or a file by the little icon next to the folder or file name. In this example here, this is a folder because there's a little folder icon next to the names. But files have the little icon that indicates what type of file it is. In this example, this is a PDF file with the little Adobe symbol here. A text file just shows a document with lines of text. An image will show you a picture of a document with a little camera. And an Excel spreadsheet will show the Excel icon. So at a quick glance you can tell the difference between your folders and your files and what types of files they are. If you click on a folder, it will then show you any subfolders and files beneath that one. Clicking on a file will actually bring up the thumbnail of the file itself. So you can look at the document either in its small form like it is here, or clicking on the document to show it in its original form. Multi-page documents are also indicated here at the bottom. It'll show you what page you're currently viewing, and you can move forward or backward to scroll through the number of pages. You can do the same thing while the document is in its full format by clicking on the little arrows that generate for you left or right. With the document viewing here, you can delete the document now, or if you ever need to download and print a document that you've previously uploaded, you can do that by selecting the download and print button here. So that pretty much covers the center of the screen. So next we'll move over to the right hand side, which is where the all-important metadata is attached to your folders and files. I'll begin with a discussion of each of the different fields in the metadata section at both the folder level and then at the file level. We'll start with the folder level. If I select a folder such as business files here, you'll see that there are different fields now: title, note, tag, activity, and sharing. You can change the title of a folder here in the same way that you could by right-clicking on the folder and renaming it here. But this gives you a little bit bigger target. For those who aren't comfortable with right-click, you can change the name of the folder in this field. You can add any note that you'd like to the folder, and this is pretty much an unlimited text field. You can add a tag or keyword that will help you find this folder quicker in the future. Once you've added a specific keyword, you just hit save and it will build you a list of keywords that you've used in the past. So you won't have to go back in and add that particular keyword again. You can also see what activity has been taken on this particular folder at any time. You can see it lists the date, what action was taken, and who did it by their login ID. If there's been more than 5 activities on any particular folder, you can click the View All button and you'll see every activity that's ever been taken since that folder was created. Again, we break it down by date, timestamp, the name of the folder, what action was taken, and who did it. The final section here shows you who you are currently sharing this folder with. You'll see their user ID and the permission role that you assign them when you invited them to share in this folder. You can change this information at any time, or who you're sharing with, by selecting the Manage button here and then simply selecting or deselecting people that you've invited to participate and then hitting save. As I mentioned before, you can also delete a folder or file by selecting the Delete button here once that folder or file is highlighted. But keep in mind, if the folder is not empty, the delete will not work. You must first empty the folder of any of its subfolders and files before you can delete this top level folder. Next, we'll discuss the files. If you select a file within your folder, in our example here, we'll select a file of an image, you'll notice that some of these fields change in the metadata section. Again, you can use the title field to change the name of this file. You can enter a free text note on any file within your folders. But now you can also select where the original copy of this document is. If you click on the location field, you can build your list of physical locations. Since there are some documents that we must keep originals of, you can list here where the original copy of that document is. A great idea to include in your list of locations is an original not being kept. In this way, it can serve as a reminder both to yourself and anyone who may need to find a document whether an original copy of it exists. In either case, the location field serves as a great reminder of where documents are kept, both for yourself as a member in case you forget where you filed something, and anyone who may need to find the original of a document. Again, on the document is the ability to add special tags or keywords, but now you'll notice an added field here at the document level called Refers To. The Refers To field gives you the capability to specify a specific person to whom that document refers. This gives you yet another search criteria in the event you're looking for all documents in your account that refer only to a specific person. Just like at the folder level, there's an activity log kept on every document. From the moment a document is uploaded into your account until the time it is removed, the activity log is kept. This log cannot be deleted or edited in any way. And again, even at the document level, we keep a date timestamp, the name of the document, what was done to the document, and who did it by their login ID. So that gives you another record of activity taken on your account. Just like at the folder level, you can see who you are currently sharing a document with. In this section, it lists their login ID and the role that they have as a participant in your account. We will talk more about these specific roles when we look at the Manage Sharing portion of this webinar. And again, just like at the folder level, you can manage who you're sharing this file with by selecting the Manage button and then selecting or deselecting the names on your list. Notice to the right of each name there are other icons. If you hover over these icons in yellow at the top, it tells you what permission these different icons represent. So even within the role that you've invited someone to share, you can also further define what permissions you want to give them on any particular document or folder within your account. The final section of the metadata part is the reminders field. Reminders can be set on any document within your SafelyFiled account. You might use reminders in the event you, for example, have a warranty that you upload into your account, but want to be reminded before that warranty expires. To do that, you would simply select the document, then bring up the calendar under the reminders field and select a date for any date in the future. Then you click on the notes field and write yourself a note. Whatever you write in this text field then can be sent to you via either email or text or both. The email or text will be sent to the email address or cell phone number that you have on file with us here at SafelyFiled. So that covers the metadata section of SafelyFiled. Next, we're going to move on to the other specific pages: the My Information page, the Manage Membership page, Manage Sharing, Manage Security, and Manage Sponsorship. We will start by looking at the My Information page. This is the page where you update your personal information: your name, your mailing address, email address, and this email address is where your reminders will go to, as well as the email address that we will use to communicate with you, and your telephone numbers, a home phone or cell phone number, or both. Everyone who signs up for a SafelyFiled account also receives a SafelyFiled email address. That email address consists of your user ID at SafelyFiled.com. You can use this email address to email documents into your account, or to give this email address out to authorized professional or family members who you don't want to invite to participate in your account, but you would like to give them the ability to email documents into your SafelyFiled account directly. You can build an email whitelist by inserting email addresses that you will allow documents to be submitted to your SafelyFiled account from. Once you input email addresses in this field here, only documents coming from those email addresses will be accepted. Any other email address sending a document into your account will be ignored. If you ever need to change any of this information on the page, you simply come to this My Information page, make your changes, and then select Save. Next, we'll move on to the Manage Membership page. We currently have two different membership plans. We have an annual plan and a monthly plan. On this page, you can see which plan that you're currently enrolled in. You can also see when your next payment is due and the amount of that payment. If you need to change your payment information, you can do so on this page, as well as add any promo code or association code. If you're a member of an association and have your own special code for that association, you can input that information here. You will also come here to update your billing address. Once you've made your changes, you select Update. And next we'll talk about Manage Sharing. Just a side note, there are two different ways that you can get to these different pages. You'll see them listed here on the right hand side, so you can simply select the page you want to go to here, or you can select it from the drop down under My Accounts here. The Manage Sharing page is where you go to invite participants to share in your SafelyFiled account. If you've invited participants previously, you'll see them listed here by their login name, the role that you've assigned to them, whether you've set them to expire automatically on your account or not, and you can delete them by simply selecting the trash can icon to the right of their name. In addition to deleting someone you've previously invited, you can also change their role and change their expiration date. If you'd like to change their role, simply click on their current role and then choose the new role that you want to assign them to from the available list and select OK. Also, if they've set to never expire, for example, and you want to set a limit on that, you can select the current expiration and choose a date for some date in the future and then hit Save. You'll notice now their date has changed from never to the date you've selected. When this date rolls around, this person will automatically be removed from sharing access in your account. You will be sent an email previous to this date letting you know that the expiration date is coming up. And once they no longer have sharing capability on your account, they too will receive an email just letting them know that. Inviting a new participant to share in your SafelyFiled account is an easy 4-step process. You simply select the Invite New Participant link at the bottom of this page. You insert their name and a telephone number. If you add a cell phone number in this field, they will receive or have the opportunity to receive their access code in a text in lieu of an email. The next step is to add their email address. This is where the invitation will actually be sent, so ensure this email address is accurate. Then select Next. The second step is where you assign which role you want this person to have. If you hover over the little yellow question mark, it'll give you a short synopsis of each of these roles. An authorized professional can view, upload, and download any documents that you share with them. A guest can only view shared documents. An associate is someone you trust pretty thoroughly, and they can do anything that you can do on shared documents and folders except delete. A co-member is someone that you trust fully, as they can do anything on your account that you can, with the exception of inviting new participants. That feature will probably be added in the future, but is currently not available. A sponsor, however, is someone who can do anything on shared folders and files that you can as the member, but also has the limited ability to delete files. They can't delete any files that you or anyone else uploads, but they can delete a file that they have uploaded into your account. So once you've determined what access you want this new person to have, you simply select from this list and hit Next. The third step is where you choose an expiration date for this participant. If it's a short-term relationship, you can select whatever date in the future that you want this participant to expire automatically. Otherwise, you can select Never Expire and then hit Save. The fourth and final step is where you go to assign sharing with this new person. You can do it now or you can do it later. Doing it later gives you the ability to walk through this invite process again if you're inviting a few different people at the same time. But it's a good practice to go ahead and assign sharing while you're thinking about it. So when you click on Assign Sharing, it takes you back to your home page here where you can select whatever folder or file or combination thereof that you want to share with this new participant. So if we select a folder, say Estate Planning, and then click on Manage, we'll see that Barbie is now added to our list of people to share with, so we can select her name. And again, as I said earlier, you can further define what other permission you want to give or take away from Barbie under the Manage Sharing space itself. So that completes the Manage Sharing page. Next, we'll talk about Manage Security. The Manage Security page is where you come to change your security questions, change your password, and set your dual authentication requirements. When you sign up for a SafelyFiled account, you're required to choose from these questions and provide an answer for each one. But if you've forgotten which questions you chose or what you answered to the question, you can always come back to this Manage Security page to select your question and input your answer. The answer field will always show up blank here for additional security. If you lose your password or forget it, you will have to contact us via phone. And these security questions and answers is just one of the ways that we will validate that you are the rightful owner of the account before we reset the password. You can reset your password at any time using this section here. You must input your old password and then choose your new one. We do require a strong password, which means your password must be at least 8 characters long and be a combination of at least 3 out of these 4 things: upper and lowercase alpha letters, numbers, and or special characters. You can test your password strength by inputting your choice of passwords in the new and confirm password fields and then selecting validate. You'll see your score over here at the right. We do require that your password reach a score of at least 60 out of 100 before we'll accept your new password. To make your account even more secure, you can use this final section on this page to require that not only the correct login and password be used, but also an additional access code be required. You can set this to be required only from a public machine, which means a machine that you have not previously identified as private, or you can turn it on to always requiring the access code. You can also turn it off, which is the default stance that the system comes with. If you have a mobile phone on file with us on the My Information page, you'll have the option to have that access code sent to either that phone number or to the email address that you have on file with us. Also in this section, you have the ability to identify the current machine you're using as public or private. And finally, we'll talk about the Manage Sponsorship page. Whether you're a professional with clients or a family who would like to sponsor other family members or friends to SafelyFiled, or refer them and make a little money for yourself, the Manage Sponsorship page is where you go to do that. You must enroll as a sponsor or a referrer at SafelyFiled. You only need to enroll one time. So the first time you do that, you'll come to this page that gives you more information on what it means to enroll as a sponsor and the fees associated. Currently, it will cost you $36 per person that you sponsor into SafelyFiled. If you refer someone to SafelyFiled, they pay for their own account, but they will receive a 12% discount. Once you read the information on this page, simply select Enroll. This screen will tell you that the credit card that you have on file with us at SafelyFiled is the one that will be charged each time you invite a new sponsored member to SafelyFiled. If you want to change this credit card, you can cancel out of the enrollment process and under My Account select Manage Membership. There you can update your credit card information and then come back to Manage Sponsorship page and continue your enrollment. Once you've enrolled as a sponsor, you will come to this page by default anytime you click on the Manage Sponsorship option under My Account. On this page, you can promote your own family website or your business website by updating your web address here, uploading your own business logo or family photo here, and setting a short 40-character or less message in the space provided here. These are the things that your clients or family members will see then whenever they log into their SafelyFiled account. With our sponsorship program, you can customize templates for your different clients' needs or families' needs. In this section here under Member Templates is where you would do that. In my example here, I have created two different templates, one for my family members and one for my photography business. To create a new template, simply click on the Create Template button here, give it a name and a short description. You can then assign a default role on this template for yourself. Refer back to our user documentation or other training videos on a better understanding of what each of these roles can do. But with the release of 3.0, we've also added an additional role called Sponsor. A sponsor can do anything an associate can do, such as upload and download documents and create new folders, but the sponsor role also has an additional ability of deleting any file that you upload for a client. We did this for the case in which you may accidentally upload the wrong file into the wrong client's account. If that's the case and you realize it, you can then go back in and remove that document or documents and then upload the correct one. Click OK for the next step. Now you'll see that your new template is created here. You see the name and the description. The name of the template is actually the login for that template. So now you can click on Edit, which in reality is logging you into SafelyFiled with that login ID. So now you see the template as your client or family member will see it. Notice at the top your icon that you've uploaded is there along with your message. And if you click on this icon, it will take you to the web URL that you updated. Now you can come in here and create new folders, rename folders, and move things around to be whatever formula or format that you want for your client. You can even put notes in here that your clients will see by default whenever they log into the account. Tags, however, are for personal use, so you can add your own tags here, but your client won't see those tags as they can add their own to help them search and find documents more easily. Once you have finished customizing the template to be how you want it to be, we'll delete that one there, then you simply log out and you're back to your sponsorship page. At any time, you can go back into a previously created customized template and make changes to that template to fit your needs as things change. Keep in mind, however, that clients or family members who have been previously invited to that template and have accepted your invitation, they will not see these changes that you've made to the template. Only family members or clients that you invite after making that change will see the updated template. There are two different ways to invite a family member or client to SafelyFiled. One is via a sponsorship, which means that you are going to pay for their annual account. Currently, the price for that is $36 a year. This line here shows you how many people you're currently paying for. To invite a new client or family member as a sponsored member, click on Create Member here and input their name and telephone number. This can be a home number or a mobile number. If you know their mobile number, this will allow them to get their access code via a text versus just email. And then input a valid email address, as this is where the invitation will be sent. Then you can choose which template you want to have this person see when they log into their SafelyFiled account. If you don't opt for a customized template, they will receive the default template, which is the same one you saw when you joined SafelyFiled. But this is a family member, so I'm going to choose the family member template and then select Next. The next screen just gives you the opportunity to validate that the information you've input is correct. If it's not correct, cancel and go back and correct it. If it is correct, select Invite. You will then see that the invitation has been sent to the customer, and it will show you what their temporary login ID is. They will then receive this email and are given the option to change this login ID if they wish. Select OK. Now, if we scroll down to the bottom of the page where all of our sponsors and referred members are listed, you'll see the new persons you've invited listed here with their temporary login ID, the template that you've invited them with, and whether they're paid or referred. The second way to invite clients, family, or friends into SafelyFiled is to refer them. When you enrolled as a sponsor, you were given a specific and unique sponsorship code, which you'll see listed here. You can then send invitations to your client's family or friends by using the instructions here, or you can click on Sample Email and then copy and paste this email into your email client and send to whomever you want. Embedded within this email is a link that they can click on, which will take them to the sign up page and will automatically insert your unique sponsorship code for them. As a thank you for referring people to SafelyFiled, we will pay you $5 for each person that you refer to SafelyFiled who accepts your referral. We also pay you that $5 for every year that they remain a member. Referred members receive a 12% discount annually on their SafelyFiled account. This line here tells you how many people you are currently referring who have accepted. And at the bottom of this page, list all of the people that you are currently either paying for as a sponsor or who have referred and have accepted your referral. You'll see them by their full name, their login ID, the template that you invited them with, and whether they are paid or referred clients. If you see a number after a login ID, that normally indicates that they have yet to accept the invitation and created their own login. If they do change their login ID, that login information will be updated and shown correctly in this column. You can unsponsor anyone at any time by simply selecting the Unsponsor button here. When you do that, an email will be sent to the member letting them know that you are no longer paying for their account, and they will receive instructions on how to keep their account active. We will not delete their information if you unsponsor them. After you've added your clients or family members to your SafelyFiled account, you can then access their records easily with your login and password by simply hovering over My Files and selecting on the family member or client who you need to upload files for or take some action. Notice when you do that, the view has changed and now you're no longer looking at your files, but you're looking at Billy Joe's files. So now you can upload files for Billy Joe, delete them, make notes on them, whatever actions necessary on their account. So with one login and password, you can manage all of your family or clients' files. Keep in mind, however, that these clients own their own account, so whether you sponsor them or refer them at any time, they can remove your access from their files and folders. So that pretty much covers the SafelyFiled features and functions. There probably are some things we missed, and there will be some things that we are updating and changing. But this should give you a really good idea of how SafelyFiled works and how we're unique and different from anything else out there on the market today. If you have any questions, please give us a call at 1-888-686-3111 or email us at info@safelyfiled.com.